A childhood deprived of parental love, a broken engagement with Alain Delon, two marriages that ended in divorce, the suicide of an ex-husband, the tragic death of a beloved son, addiction to illegal substances and alcohol. In one of her last interviews, she said, "I'm an unhappy 42-year-old woman, and my name is Romy Schneider." At 44, she was gone. One of the most phenomenal stars of European cinema, she was destined for success. Beautiful, talented, and famous in the film community because she came from an acting family. Romy played a lot with the greatest directors of her era. However, in her personal life, she suffered blow after blow. Film director Andrzej Zulawski, with whom Schneider collaborated, claimed that her mother, Magda Schneider, a domineering woman who was ready to do anything to make her daughter famous, was to blame for everything. She was the one who took Romy to the old producers. Being drunk, sobbing, Romy talked about how her sentimental and emotional life was destroyed at the age of 12, Zulawski said in an interview. The future star was born in Vienna in 1938. At birth, the girl's name was Rosemary Magdalena Albach-Reddy. Her parents, Mother Magda Schneider, German, Father Wolf Albach-Reddy, Austrian, and grandmother Rosa Albach-Reddy were actors. Wolfdieter, the youngest child, grew up in the family. When Romy turned 7, her parents separated, and the girl was placed in the care of her maternal grandparents. And then the nuns of the Catholic school took over her upbringing. Romy hated this place, but no one else needed her. The mother remembered her daughter when she was already 15 years old. Magda Schneider decided that the girl was ready to conquer the film industry. Romy's career began in 1953 with the film When the White Lilac Blooms Again. She played in the film with her mother. And 2 years later, the young beauty got the role that many young artists dream of. She played Empress Elizabeth of Bavaria in the film Sissy. The role brought Schneider fame and the status of a national treasure of Germany. She was hailed as a rising talent and a symbol of beauty. But there was a downside to this coin. It was planned to shoot almost 10 parts of Sissy. Romy agreed to participate in 2 more sequels and flatly refused the 4th offer. She realized that she had reached a dead end and became a prisoner of one image. Romy met Alain Delon on the set of the film Christina in 1958. At first, they did not like each other. She considered the Frenchman too mawkish, characterless, and completely expressionless. In addition, the language barrier prevented them from establishing closer contact. But the actress did not know Delon. It took him only a few days to make Schneider fall in love with him forever. Romy's mother, upon learning about this love, was furious. A young, uneducated actor from a poor family, besides with a terrible reputation as a womanizer. Under the influence of emotions, Romy gained strength and rebelled against Rodney. At the insistence of her lover, she left Vienna and moved to Paris. The journalists who followed their affair were delighted. They expected the screen princess to appear before the altar soon. However, Romy and Alain never said their wedding vows. The faster their careers progressed, the further apart they became. It was no secret that the actor cheated on his fiancée, who always forgave him and gave him another chance. In December 1963, Delon abruptly broke off the engagement. At that time, Schneider was filming in Hollywood. It happened very casually, in a telephone conversation, as if all these 4 years had not happened. When Romy returned to her Paris apartment, she found a bouquet of roses and a note underneath it. "I went to Mexico with Natalie. All the best, Alain." It's about Natalie Canovas, the future Mrs. Delon. During the trip to Mexico, she was already expecting a child from the actor. Schneider tried to commit suicide, but fortunately unsuccessfully. After the rescue and psychotherapy, Romy went to Germany. In April 1965, at the opening of the Center of Europe in Berlin, Romy Schneider met theater star Harry Mayen. He was 14 years older than the actress, but that didn't stop their love at first sight. Soon the tabloids spread Romy's words. Harry and I immediately understood each other in bed. However, this news immediately provoked a scandal. The fact is that Mayen was the husband of the famous Berlin actress Anneliese Romer. In the following months, the Schneider case became a major topic of gossip in the media. Publicly humiliated, Romer estimated her husband's freedom at $200,000. But the abandoned wife received the money not from a painfully stingy, unfaithful spouse, but from his famous mistress. In May 1966, Mayne's divorce was officially announced. 2 months later, Romy married him. The civil ceremony took place in France and lasted only 4 minutes. The bride was already pregnant at that time. In early December, the couple had a son, David Christopher. For 2 whole years, their peaceful, almost euphoric family life continued. And then the problems started. Harry was openly jealous of his star wife's success. In the 70s, the world was crazy about her. The French newspaper Paris Match wrote that a great star has appeared in the cinema again. Romy Schneider's beauty has been compared to that of Greta Garbo, Marilyn Monroe, or Marlene Dietrich. Everyone fell in love with her classic facial features, brown red hair and almond-shaped eyes. And who was Mayne? His surname caused awe only among local fans of theatrical creativity in Germany. Harry constantly snapped at Romy, humiliated her as a mother, a woman, and a hostess, but worst of all, he trampled on her professional achievements. Romy was suffering. She increasingly used alcohol and illegal substances, and in an interview admitted, "I need a man stronger than me." In 1973, Schneider and Mayne signed an agreement on the division of property. The next day, Bild newspaper reported that Romy was freed from her husband for 1.4 million marks. Harry used the money for good. He immediately bequeathed it to his son David. But the world only found out about it in April 1979 after Mayne's suicide. In 1974, Romy Schneider met Daniel Biasini. The handsome screenwriter, who was 11 years younger than the actress, became her secretary and received a limited bank power of attorney. The young man masterfully made the actress dependent on himself. In conversations with her friends, Schneider claimed that Biasini was the man of her life. Blinded by love, the actress did not notice the calculated seduction technique. In 1975, Romy Schneider married Biasini. The bride was pregnant again, but this time everything went down a tragic path. The couple were returning from their honeymoon and got into a seemingly minor accident. But Romy, not wearing a seatbelt, hit the windshield of the Bentley. The actress suffered minor head injuries and suffered a miscarriage. Work turned out to be the best therapy. When Schneider became pregnant again, she slowed down her work pace, followed the advice of doctors, and did everything to give birth to a healthy child. The actress avoided parties and restaurants, led a secluded and very quiet lifestyle in Germany. The same could not be said about Biasini. A 26-year-old man went to Paris alone, where he partied with other women, giving them gifts at Romy's expense. On July 21, 1977, Romy gave birth to a daughter, Sarah Magdalena. The girl was born prematurely and spent 2 months in an incubator. For a year after the birth of her daughter, Schneider did not accept any offers from directors, and then she was forced to go back to work. Biasini, who was supported by his wife, bought expensive cars, ate in the most expensive restaurants, and wore only branded clothes. Quarrels between the spouses became more frequent. When Romy realized that Daniel was stealing money from her, she filed for divorce. On the set of the film, The Ghost of Love, Romy Schneider met Laurent Pétain, a production manager who was 10 years younger than her. He persuaded Romy to undergo rehabilitation, helped her get through the divorce from Biasini, who not only almost reset her bank account, but also demanded money for custody of her daughter Sarah. Laurent took care of the actress during her recovery from surgery to remove her right kidney. Romy's life seemed to be getting better, but on July 5, 1981, a tragedy occurred, after which, according to Schneider's friends, her slow death began. The actress' 14-year-old son, David, died trying to climb over the fence of his step-grandparents' house, Biasini's parents. It happened in Saint-Germain-en-Laye, near Paris. The wrought iron blade pierced the boy's lower abdomen. The neighbors heard a child screaming. An ambulance was called, but the boy died on the operating table shortly before midnight. David's funeral was organized by Alain Delon. The star's bodyguards effectively protected the mourners from television and cameras. Reporters were unable to photograph the grieving Schneider. Over the next months, Romy tried to drown out her suffering with huge doses of alcohol, illegal substances, and cigarettes. On May 10, 1982, Schneider made a will in which she left all her property to Laurent Pétain and his daughter. She didn't know that she only had furniture, personal jewelry, and debts. Romy and Laurent spent the evening of Friday, May 28, at his brother Jerome's dinner. They returned to the apartment at Barbette de Jouy about 1 o'clock in the morning. Laurent went to the bedroom. Romy stayed in the living room to be with her son. It was her ritual. She listened to music and thought about David. At dawn, Laurent entered the living room and saw Romy in an armchair. She looked like she was asleep. But as he got closer, he realized that the actress was dead. Cause of death: cardiac arrest is the result of taking sleeping pills, stimulants, and weight loss products for 4 years. It was an expert opinion. Although there were persistent rumors, fueled by the press, that the distraught, depressed actress committed suicide by taking sleeping pills with a lot of alcohol. The funeral of the legendary Sissy took place on June 2, 1982. The ceremony was organized by Alain Delon, whom Schneider loved all her life and was looking for men like him. Delon later admitted that he never stopped loving Schneider and constantly carried her photo in his pocket near his heart.